Hello, good morning, everybody, and welcome to my presentation on job search and using effective job search for the School of Engineering. And I've entitled it Engineer Your Career because I feel that a lot of you will have extensive engineering knowledge and engineering skills, and I feel that you need to adapt those to engineering your actual career and thinking about your job search. So within this, I'm going to talk to you about certain websites, and I'll also talk to you about where those websites are, because quite a number of engineering students over the past couple of years have come to see me, and they want loads and loads and loads of useful websites, which I totally agree with. But there's also other things that I still think that you need to think about before you then partake on your job searching. So the aim of today's session is really to give you a mini guide as to where to start your job search. So, like I say, it's all about really thinking outside the box and thinking about maybe other areas other than specific company websites, and thinking about different things and how they will help your job search. So initially, I'd like you to think about your actual job title and maybe the actual sector that you can actually work in. So at the moment, some of you might be doing maintenance engineering, some of you might be doing electrical engineering. And I think it's worth your while thinking about the sectors that you could actually work in. Now, through my knowledge and my experience, I would then say that you've got a whole host of opportunities available to you. However, you might not want to just narrow your search down, or you might want to narrow your search down. And obviously, you've got to think about that if you're just tunneling that particular sector, such as defence, within your career search, then you're obviously missing out on other opportunities. I'd also like you to think as well about your job title, and if you have a specific job title in mind. Recently, I saw a maintenance engineer who was looking on BAE's website, and he was like, there's nothing here on this website for me. There's no jobs in maintenance engineering. And once I started to talk to him about the skills and the knowledge that he'd got in actually his master's and his undergraduate course, he started to see the whole host of different job opportunities that were available to him and the different job titles. It wasn't just saying maintenance engineer, it was saying quality engineer. So it's just the way that it's then reworded, because again, when you're going to particular job search engines, then you can then put in these different job titles, and that will then help you with regards to your job search. I also, again, like we said, with regards to the sector, is then to think about the different companies that are then within your particular area. So Engineering UK in 2019 did an update report and said that 62% of engineering and tech graduates were in full-time employment 6 months after graduating, compared to 57% of other graduates. So obviously that 62%, it's not that 100%. There's going to be then some of those who are going to be going into further education and doing postgrad study, but there's going to be some of those that are going to be unemployed. And what I would say to you now, listening to this webinar, is thinking about yourself and giving you the best opportunities that you can to then not make up this little percent of people who are then unemployed, because you've got an engineering degree, and obviously your skills are much needed, and were definitely before this pandemic, and I would think after the pandemic, then you need to ensure that you're one step ahead of the game, and also looking in the right places, searching the right job titles to ensure that you get the right job for you. Obviously don't miss out then on opportunities. So With regards to Career Edge, that is Careers' main site to look for jobs. And a lot of you, when I've gone out and done presentations and talked to you about Career Edge and said to you about your job search, that you've told me that you've gone on and you've done the job search and you've had a look. But then when we talked about other things, such as industry reports and company directories, you didn't know what they were. So, as on the right-hand side, you should then see of this presentation web links. These web links should go straight to the particular pages that I'm referring to now. So initially there's the careers dashboard. You might want to then click on that now, and you should then be able to see this page, which should take you straight through to our careers homepage. And if you put in, you might have problems accessing it straight away. If you put in your student username and password, you should then be able to access this page. If you look at the third link down, that takes you to the schools page. And with regards to web links and different companies to apply for, and a lot of you want to know about what companies can I apply for, which ones are the best, etc., then I've been compiling whilst working from home a list of useful companies. It's not exhaustive by any stretch of the imagination because there's so many out there. It's not just specifically looking at local ones to Preston, it's looking at small, medium and also large organisations, and that is actually on the careers page for engineering, and that is this third link down. And on there, on Monday, you should then be able to access within the resources page, you should then be able to access this really useful document, and that will then give you useful websites to draw on. But like I say, there's obviously stuff on Career Edge, again, which isn't just within the first search vacancies on this job search and job research heading. If you go onto industry reports, you will then get at the bottom of the document, you will get information about the strengths and weaknesses of the industry. And obviously, people who are compiling that information from the Careers Hub, they will be eagerly trying to find this labour market information because obviously things are so ever changing at the moment. So if you go onto that job search, job research tab, and like I say, the link is there on the web links pod, then you can then access the industry reports at the bottom of that page, then gives you a long list of organisations that you can then look at their websites. If as well, when you click on this job research button, if you then click on the very last section, it's company directory. If you click on that company directory and then on the left hand side in the search engine, if you then put in engineering, you can then get a whole host of different companies that are related to the engineering field. So with regards to engineering, you've also got to think that a lot of companies are recruiting on graduate schemes, and quite a lot of you might have applied to graduate schemes and not been successful. It doesn't mean then that you can't apply to these companies and apply via doing maybe a technician's job, an assistant's job. It's not like you can't apply to this organisation, because once you've got your foot in the door, then hopefully then the organisation will see what an asset you will be to their company, and they will then hopefully recommend to you to do maybe the graduate scheme next year, or you might then be able to get further development through the company without actually doing their graduate scheme. So again, you know, by going onto these job research links, you can then find the company details of the graduate schemes, but also don't rule out as well about looking at the technician level, the entry level, to ensure that you can get your foot into the door with regards to these job opportunities. So, I've spoken to you about a couple of things that Career Edge can hopefully help you with, but I also want you to think a little bit as well outside the box with regards to recruitment agencies. In 2018, in the UK, there was just short of 40,000 recruitment agencies, and the sector, the industry, was saying that they were buoyant with regards to their recruitment processes, and because of like uncertain financial times, then companies were using recruitment agencies a lot more because they were failing to attract the right candidate. Because an employer has estimated that it's approximately £3,000 that it costs for an employer to recruit somebody. So obviously those costs would then fall on the recruitment agencies. So within the engineering industry, contractors are quite significant because within a project, because engineering firms, it's all about projects. So the start, the middle, the end of a project, and they might want a significant amount of people just to work on the start of the project, and then the middle and end they might use their internal workforce. So again, recruitment agencies could be one of those options that if you're not careful you could overlook those, when actually they could give you that valuable insight and valuable foot in the door. Contractors can actually earn between £100 and £1,000 a day, dependent on experience. And I think, you know, it's something that shouldn't be sniffed at as far as for students, that it's something that you should be looking at, again, because it can give you that foot in the door. And the document that I spoke to you about, that was going to be on the school resources page, that has got some recruitment agencies that you might feel are beneficial, such as Mawson's, such as Matchtech, such as Continental. They're all really useful engineering recruitment agencies. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an understanding of recruitment agencies and how, as using them can help you with regards to securing employment, and not necessarily just thinking of that industry and maybe BAE, or you could even look at it and think about BAE, that you're not getting through the graduate scheme recruitment. Well, why again can you maybe not try these recruitment agencies who've got that affinity with that organisation? You can get your foot in the door and hopefully start to learn more about the company and their processes. So that's recruitment agencies. So like I say, on that third link down, you can then go onto the school page and you can have a look. As far as professional bodies, I think these are a really useful source of information. And recently, looking at the Institute of Fire Engineers, if you click in that link, on there is then a list and a directory of all fire engineers who are registered on the Institute of Fire Engineering. So professional people, and it actually states what their qualifications are, it states what company they work for, and it states what job role they're actually doing. I think it might even say work emails on there. So this information is vital, because then you can maybe go on to LinkedIn and you can then maybe follow them on LinkedIn, or you can then find that information. You could start to contact the organisation because you'd never maybe thought about it before, or you could then even contact that particular individual to then start the networking process, to start to have those conversations and meaningful conversations about your future employment. So I would say that professional bodies are obviously there to help you professionally progress, but also the platforms for mentors, for networking within your particular industry. And again, on this third link on the schools page, the document that will be available on Monday will have the relevant industry and professional bodies that you'll be able to click on. But just for the point of the exercise today, I then put the Institute of Fire Engineers because I thought that was a really valuable one to be looking at and getting information with regards to actually having somebody's name and also the particular company. So with regards to The next one is then to think about LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a professional networking site, and currently has 660 million users, and 90 million of those users are senior influencers. So those people that are looking at the recruitment side, they're in a senior level. So if they see you and they see your profile and you're networking correctly, then this could be then an opportunity for yourself to then be headhunted. You could be doing a particular project at UCLan, you might be doing something outside of UCLan that then makes you stand out from the crowd, and these senior leaders, these 90 million, could be looking at you. They might not be, but hey, you've got to be in it to win it, and you've got to then ensure that your LinkedIn profile and you're linking in with these right people. And like I say, looking at these institutes of fire engineers, for example, getting those details, you could start to link in and network with the relevant people. LinkedIn also advertises 22 million jobs on their website, and you can upload your CV and apply for opportunities on there. So there's specific jobs that are advertised, but also you can use this network and platform to your advantage, because you could be speculatively applying for opportunities. So, look for these companies, start to be involved in groups using hashtags, and you can search engineering jobs and search articles, and also, hopefully it will help with then narrowing down places then to search. So, it might also give you information with regards to the industry, such as like the food and drink industry in the UK. It's the biggest manufacturing sector, which is employing 450 million. No, it's not million. 450,000 thousand people. So again, when you think about that and you think about your particular specialism, is that maybe an area you're willing to go into? Also think about as well growth areas in 2018, the nuclear energy, big data, food and drink manufacturing, as we've spoken about, mechanical, electrical, electronic, chemical engineers and software engineers. Those were all in high demand. So again, think about these sectors. Like I said at the beginning of the presentation, think about the sectors and think about how your particular degree could go cross sectors. You don't just necessarily need to narrow it down to one. So again, LinkedIn, we've got other webinars available on Career Edge. So I'm not going to go into with regards to how to build your profile and things like that. Please come and see us and we can do that with you on a one-to-one basis. Or again, check out the webinars on Career Edge and you can get more useful information. But when we put it into context, 660 million users, professional people who are actually on LinkedIn. Just think about how that could then enhance your career. So finally, as well, we touched on speculative applications. So speculative applications is whereby a job isn't necessarily advertised, but by you applying to them, showing how your skills and knowledge could be beneficial to that company, you could then maybe generate a job for yourself. So there is something that you've got access to as students at UCLan, which is called the FAME database. It's not the most easiest of things to navigate. However, as careers advisors, as careers officers and a careers team, we can help you navigate that system. And basically it shows how different companies are linked to the engineering industry. So it's not necessarily BAE as a whole. It's maybe their suppliers who they use. Maybe they source out certain work to different companies. And it's how you can find that information out and how then you can research these companies, get the names of these companies and approach these companies direct. So it's called the FAME database and you can access that from our careers website. Rather than the Career Edge system. So you can access it from our careers website. So that has basically been my whistle stop tour. I didn't want to go too much in depth with things. I just wanted it to be a short input to yourselves in the hope that you'll find it interesting, for it to generate some ideas and maybe even some questions for you to go and take away, and hopefully then to come and see us at Careers and ask further questions. So I look forward